Hey everybody. Okay, this is assignment number 8 for the Living from the Heart online class. This is also, I'm afraid to say, our last assignment. And so a couple of things I want to say about that before I go on to the assignment. First of all, thank you. Thank you so much for showing up in the way that you have in this class. I've had a great time. It's been really interesting and fun and expansive for me to be a part of this class and to be making the assignments and to be communicating with you via the network that we're using. I just appreciate you so much for the people who you are, for the courageous and honest and open and vulnerable way that you've shown up for the class and that you've participated in the class. And I appreciate so much that you do practice and that you have this practice and that you're doing this practice and modeling this practice in the world. I think it is to me it's the best gift that we can give to ourselves and to others, to be looking at ourselves and our processes in this way and learning how to be who we really are, learning how to let go of conditioned mind and being the heart-centered people who we really are. So thank you very much for the way you've shown up in this class. In terms of logistics, I'm making this email on Saturday the 13th. I will be monitoring the Mighty Networks platform for at least a couple more weeks, maybe more, depending on what happens. So if you are someone who is behind in the class, not behind necessarily, but you're not watching this video soon after Saturday the 13th, don't let that disturb you. Go ahead and put out your response, and I'll be noticing it in class, and I'll respond. If you're someone who has been keeping up with the assignments as we've been going through, great. Thank you for that. That's wonderful. And you might consider just continuing to tune in with the Mighty Networks and just to see the conversations that are going on until it really does come to an end and all the conversation stops. Just so you know, I have plans to do this again before too long. It probably will be September, I'm thinking. My thinking right now is that I'd like to do a class on conscious relationship and include some spiritual process stuff around that, and also just some practical techniques and stuff that I've learned over time that we can practice together within this spiritual practice that we do. So keep tuned for that. Okay, so let's go on to the assignment. This assignment is going to have 2 parts. The first part will be very much like I've done before, or I'm going to ask you some questions, and then I'll ask you to pause the video and then answer the question and then resume the video and so on as we've done before. If you will need pen and paper for this, so if you don't have that, perhaps you could pause the video right now and get those so you'll be ready. Okay, good. So here is the first, I have 3 questions. Here's the first question of 3. The first question is, I'd like for you to make some notes about what you've learned in the class. And just to remind you about some of the things we've talked about. We've talked about and explored the place of heart-centered awareness. We've talked a lot, of course, about conditioned mind, which is the other place we can live in, as opposed to the place of heart-centered awareness. We've talked a lot about stories and how we leave the moment to go into stories, or you might say also meaning, interpretation, fictions that are happening in conditioned mind, and how that works and how we can let go of stories and come back to the present. We talked about some, not a whole lot actually, but some about the origins of those stories and how they come from the past, they come from the way that we're brought up as children and the way we're conditioned to be. We've focused quite a bit on emotion. We looked at what emotion is. What is it really, this thing that we call emotion? What's the difference between what we might call emotion, which is, as we talked about, the combination between an experience we're having, particularly sensations in the body, and the story that's attached to that. So what's the difference between that and authentic feeling, an authentic experience has not been sort of surrounded by and abducted by conditioned mind? We, of course, we focused on pain and our relationship with pain. We focused on our relationship with fear. We've talked quite a bit about self-care, like how to take care of ourselves. We've looked at addictive sorts of behaviors and what that's all about. We've talked about how to better take care of ourselves. And we've talked quite a bit about identity, this thing that we call identity, how we can become a particular someone who is not who we really are within the conditioned system and suffer as a result and have a very limited perspective and have a limited set of thoughts and feelings and behaviors that come out of that identity. And we've talked about how to disidentify, how to step out of that identity back into this place of heart-centered awareness where we experience free choice and we can choose how to be and how to experience the lives that we have to a large degree. Okay, so that's just kind of something of an overview. Oh, and most recently we talked about acceptance and unacceptance and what that looks like from the conditioned place and what that looks like from center, and we're in that conversation right now. So just kind of remembering all these things, go ahead and hit pause on the video if you wouldn't mind, and just make some notes about what you've learned, what you've explored, some of the experiences you've had over these past 6 weeks now that we've been working together in this class. Okay, thank you. Welcome back. All right, now having looked at what you've learned, what I want you to ask yourself now is, how do you want to take what you've learned and apply it in your life going forward? So I want you to set some intentions around that. So ways you might want to practice certain things that you've learned. Perhaps there are certain areas in your life that need attention, where you can see that there's unconscious habits happening, or there's places where you're believing conditioned stories or that sort of thing. Places where maybe you're not really as in touch with yourself or caring for yourself as much as you want to be. So take a look at that and just what do you want to practice going forward, kind of in the short term and the long term? How would you like to take this work that we've been exploring and apply it in your life going forward? What does that look like for you? Okay. All right, so the last question is, having seen what you've learned, having seen and discriminated some and set some intentions around how you want to practice what you've learned going forward, the last question is, how would you like to support yourself in this work as you go forward and continue with your practice? And that could look like all kinds of things. It could look like practices, particular practices that you want to do. It could look like certain routines that you set up around self-care. Perhaps you want to more firmly establish your meditation practice, or you want to set up a really good morning routine where you're taking care of yourself and you're taking the first part of the day to really get in touch with yourself and take care of yourself. Perhaps you want to do like a mentoring. It's another thing we explored. Is self-mentoring and what that's all about. How you might want to consider setting up some routines around self-mentoring. Like, so perhaps maybe before you go to bed at night, you could do a real review of the day and what you've learned, and maybe offer yourself some reassurance and some understanding around the experiences you've gone through, and some validation too for the work that you're doing, like that. So it could be internal and private, sort of like that. Could be external too. Are there ways you want to elicit friendships? Take advantage of your friendships to get support for things that you want to do. Are there ways that you want to take advantage of what I offer? I'm not going to go through all those right now. Many of you, I'm sure you're aware of the kinds of things that I offer. And over the next week or two, I'm going to be putting out some announcements about some new things. Those of you who have been in on the virtual groups recently have heard about some of these. Some new supports that I'm going to put in place to help people have support for their practice ongoing, that aren't quite as intensive and involved as like this class. Okay, so some easier ways to support practice as we go through. Okay, so it could be like that too. So take some time now just to make some notes for yourself about how do you want to support yourself in whatever way occurs to you as you go forward in your practice. Okay, thank you. Very good. Okay, so if you would, set your notebook and your paper aside. And of course, whenever you feel ready, I would and willing, I would love to hear about that in the class. So go ahead and post your response to that. And just tell me and tell us what you see about that, about what you've learned and how you want to practice what you've learned and how you're going to support yourself as you do that. And now let's do a little guided imagery together. And so as we've done before, if you will find some physical posture that feels just right for right now, that you want to be in as you receive the guided imagery and participate in the guided imagery. That could be lying down, if you'd like. If there's any danger that you might fall asleep, then you probably would be best sitting up. But whatever makes sense to you. And so take a moment now just to kind of arrange yourself and get really comfortable in a way that you can be comfortable, but also alert and able to receive from the guided imagery. Okay. And then, if you would, as we generally do, turn your attention to your breath and your breathing. Feel your breath as it enters your body and fills your body and leaves your body. And see if you can allow all of your attention to rest for a moment just on your breathing. If there is anything you're holding on to in your mind as a result of the questions that I just asked, or something else also, something that you carried into this experience today, just see if you can let that go. See if you can let it go for right now, knowing you can pick it up later if you want to. Giving yourself the gift of a space to just be right here, right now. Here in the present moment. Simply being. Breathing in and breathing out. You'll recall, I'm sure, that we began this class with an experience of what we've been calling heart-centered awareness. I would invite you to return to that place right now. So letting go of whatever's going on in your mind, coming into your body, allowing yourself to inhabit your body and inhabit your in-the-moment experience. Get in touch with your heart, whatever that means to you right now. If you have any conditioning that is tugging at your attention, that's fine. But just see if you can let that go. And allow your attention to leave whatever story might be trying to grab your attention. And bring your attention back here to the moment. And just be. Just be here with yourself right now in this moment. And explore this place that we call, sometimes, heart-centered awareness. Notice how in this place that you're aware of your body and your sensations. And you're aware of those without any agenda, without any kind of judgment, without needing to change anything. Notice how you can simply be aware of your physical being. Notice how in this place you can be aware of your feelings, of your emotional state too. So tune into your experience on that level for just a moment, on the level of your feelings. Again, with no agenda. You don't need to try to change what you're feeling. You don't need to make yourself wrong for what you're feeling. Just notice what it is that you're feeling right now. and be with yourself in a loving way as you have whatever experience it is that you're having. And now notice that in this place of heart-centered awareness, you are also aware of your mind and the thoughts that are in your mind. What are you aware of in that area of your being right now? Same as before. You don't need to alter anything, don't need to fix anything. There is no right or wrong experience to have here, no right or wrong thoughts to be having. Just notice that you can be in a place of pure awareness. Just noticing what's going on in your body and your feelings and your mind with love and acceptance. Just allow yourself to have that experience for a little bit right now and explore that place of heart-centered awareness. And now, if you would, become aware of the human being who you are accompanying in this life. Become aware of this person who has your name. Notice how it is that in a way you are that person, and in a way you are not that person. In a way, you are the awareness that is holding that person. That you are the capacity to be aware of that person and aware of that person's experience. Almost as if the experience that person is having is happening to someone else. Notice this place where you are outside of the experience of, quote, me. And that you are aware of the experience that this person, who you call sometimes me, is having from the outside. From this place of heart-centered awareness, how do you feel about this human who you are going through this life with? Can you hold this person with love? Can you hold this person in unconditional love and acceptance? Notice how it is that this person is pure goodness. Notice how it is that there is nothing wrong with this person. There is nothing wrong with this person, and there never has been. Notice how it is that in a way this person is absolutely perfect. This person is absolutely perfect, however he or she or they happens to be. from this place of heart-centered awareness, see how you can understand what this person has gone through, the struggles that this person has had, the challenges, the pain, the achievements, the breakthroughs that this person has had so far in this life. Understand how this person has been conditioned, and how, even now, when there's conditioning present, when this person acts out of conditioning in some way, that is understandable. It makes sense that they would do that, given the conditioned process that we all went through in order to fit into this world. Allow yourself to feel your natural compassion for this person and all this person has been through in their life so far. Allow yourself to feel the natural love that is in you for this human being, for this very person that you are closest to in this life, that you spend all day, every day with. See if you can hold this person in unconditional love and acceptance, no matter how they are, no matter who they are, now, in this moment, and at other times. And notice, finally, that this is who you are. This love, this compassion, this capacity to accept unconditionally. This is who you are in your essence. Notice that who you are is love and compassion and acceptance. That who you are is generosity and peace and joy and clarity. Feel what it is to be simply here as the unconditional love that you are. And know that this place of authenticity, this place of heart-centered awareness is here all the time. It never leaves. It is always available. We, of course, have deep habits of distraction and dissipation that cause us to leave this place of heart-centered awareness, and go off into imaginary places where it is not here, where it seems like it doesn't exist and it is inaccessible to us. But these are just habits. They're not based in anything real. These places we go to are illusory. And there is a path that we can follow. There is a work that we can do that unravels any confusion we might have about that, and allows us to see what really is here, what really is true, and what isn't. To see the difference between conditioned mind and authenticity. There's a path that, if we will follow it, will teach us over time how to live here in this place of heart-centered awareness and compassion and peace. Just be with that possibility and that reality for a moment. Okay, and if you will, whenever you're ready, let that go and move your attention back to your breath and your body. Feeling your body breathe. Take a moment to give yourself some appreciation for the way that you've shown up for this class, for the work that you do to transform your relationship with yourself and your life and with the world in general. Appreciate yourself for being who you are, for the courage and the willingness and the vulnerability that you have displayed in this class and elsewhere in your life. And give yourself some thanks for the effort that you have put into this work here in the class and all the way through your life up until this point. And then, whenever you feel ready, let go of that too. And let go into your breath, feeling your body breathe. And then, whenever you feel ready, open your eyes. And then, whenever you feel ready, please get out your notebook and your pen or pencil and make some notes about that imagery. Write down what you saw, what you experienced. And then, whenever you feel ready, let us know what you saw in the class. Thank you again, everyone, for being present with us. Thank you for your time and attention. As always, I feel a deep appreciation for you, each one of you, and I look forward to seeing you again for these next couple weeks in the class.